So in the past couple of videos, we're taking a look at major and minor arpeggios and how to practice them on bass in a way that gets you really thinking horizontally on the instrument rather than vertically. And what this does is really help you think about your fingering concept and really helps you practice shifting on the instrument, which are things that we don't normally do or really don't practice that much. So now we're going to take a look at the augmented triad, which is a little bit more difficult to visualize in some respects, but in other ways it's actually a lot easier to visualize. So let's take a basic C augmented triad and play it in one octave on 3 strings. C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C. Neat. So something that we can notice from this is that the augmented triad is a symmetrical triad. It's made up of all of the same interval. In this case, there's all major thirds. C up to E is a major third, E up to G sharp is a major third, and G sharp up to C is an enharmonic major third. So you get this nifty little shape right here. And in fact, if you play it on 4 strings, you get that shape all up and down. So you get this 1 finger per fret shape that really looks and feels nice on the instrument. In fact, it feels almost kind of like a fingering exercise, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering exercise or something like that. Cool. So that's something that can help orient yourself. Now, if we're going to try and expand this a little bit, let's take a look at another 1 octave 3-string shape. C, G sharp, or C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C. Sorry about that. Cool, so that one doesn't really have that shape in it. So it really forces you to think about the notes and the shapes on the strings and the individual strings, rather than really rely on staying in one position and getting this, that thing, whatever that is. Cool, so the next 1 octave 3-string shape that we can do is C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C. That one has the shape transposed up. Wrong emphasis on the incorrect syllable. Anyway, that one has it transposed up. So we have E, G sharp, C, which is the same shape as we had with C, E, G sharp. So we can see that actually from any member of the any chord tone, we can have that shape going down or up, which is cool. That can help orient us wherever we are in the instrument. However, it can get to be a crutch, and that's what we're trying to do with practicing this, is to remove that crutch and really get fluid moving up and down the fretboard with the augmented triad. So the first way that we can do this pretty easily, actually, to remove that shape, since it's a 3-string shape, is to take away a string and really force us to think on 2 strings. So now let's take a look at a 2-string shape for C augmented triad. This is the one that I like to use. C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C. Now notice with that one that we had that sort of interesting shift in between the first finger and the pinky that we were talking about in the minor arpeggio video. What we're doing is actually keeping the pinky on the E right there while we're shifting and playing the G sharp with the first finger. So you kind of get this very smooth legato transition without actually lifting your hand off the fingerboard all that much. Another way you could do it is play the E with your second finger, with a G sharp with your first finger, if you want to do it like that. However, I personally like doing it with the 4 to the 1. Neat. So another way you could possibly do it is like this. We're going to play C, E, shift up to the second finger, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C. Neat. Another way we could do it is C, E, G sharp, shift up with the first finger, C, G sharp, E, C. That one, I don't find it as efficient because you need to shift up to the first finger here. If we're going further on the fretboard, of course, that might be useful, but as it is as a 1 octave shape, I don't generally like to use it. It's good for practice, though. Cool. So when we start translating this whole thing into 3-string 2 octave shapes, it starts to really focus you in on getting the note relationships together that move you away from that basic shape. Not that that basic shape is bad, but it can be a crutch. So the shape that I'm going to show you first is this one. We have C, E, that pinky first finger thing, G sharp, C, shift up to the second finger, E, first finger on G sharp, grab the C with your pinky. Cool. Now another way we could do this is use that shape that wasn't really good for one octave. C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, or C, E, G sharp, C, G sharp, E, C, G sharp, E, C. Both of those are really nice fluid ways of getting up and down the instrument. To really practice this though, we could also work on playing one string octave shapes and then going up the rest of the way. In other words, what I mean by that is really playing vertically and then playing horizontally all the way on one string, or playing horizontally all the way on one string and then playing vertically. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. Let's play the C augmented triad all on the A string and then go up with a one octave three string patterns up on this part of the fretboard. We have C, E, shift, G sharp, C, and then here we're just going to play it vertically on the three strings. It's E, G sharp, C. Another way we could do it is travel on the G string. C, E, G sharp, C, E, G sharp, C, like that. Now notice the way that I was fingering that is that I was playing C, E, G sharp, C, and then I was creating these pairs of notes in between 1 and 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, shift, 1, 4. So we end up on the pinky. So we don't really want to end up having to play like the G sharp here and then shift up to the pinky and then shift back the pinky for the C and then shift back to the G sharp here. We want to have this really nice relationship of 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. So that's why in the beginning I played C, E, G sharp, and then I shifted with the first finger here, which I know I've said is a no-no in the past. You don't want to shift with the same finger, but in this case it makes it a lot more fluid because we don't end up in this situation where we're jumping up and down up here with the pinky. So there's exceptions to the rule. It's a very upright bass sort of approach to the triad, because you're always moving up and down on the G string. That's something that they do a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. There's a lot to practice with the augmented triad. It's hard to visualize. It's not that common in music, so there's a lot going against it. But it's still something good to really practice to help you visualize the notes and the patterns in between notes on the instrument. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at diminished triads. So stay tuned.